It's funny we were talking about black guys from Ireland. This guy's black guy, fucking Tommy McCarthy, his name is. When we were kids, he had dreadlocks. Fucking, he's a gentleman. Like, knew him my whole life. Went to school with him. He's recently just started a podcast called Whiskey and White. So it's him and his buddy. He's whiskey and his buddy's white.
A podcast, 2 dudes, 1 mic. Instead of 2 girls, 1 cup, 2 dudes, 1 mic. Whoever wants to take that name and run with it, you have my full permission.
Yeah.
2 dudes, 1 mic.
But
and we'll come on for pizza and weed.
Yeah.
They definitely influenced me to
the question you got to ask yourself, which I try to instill in my children, why not?
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? In any situation, if once you eliminate, I know they're not going to kill me. I know they're not going to beat my ass. Why not? What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Who gives a shit?
And I did a really small scale here too, like so. It's
that barrel does not suggest small scale anyway. That's a whole 55 gallons right there.
My heart went in that, like.
Well, I mean, if your heart went in it, you would have angled the corners better with the fucking tubing. That's all I'm saying. You would have 45'd them. That's all I'm saying.
You mean like that? Jesus.
You're better than that.
I'll do.
Look how your setup is. You measured that and hung those perfectly.
No, that's...
Yes, so you can cut those.
Look at that beauty.
Yeah, that's...
Can you close the fucking door, Josh?
I know what
nice
the fuck
Nice Z's rolling. Oh, you guys are cold?
Yeah, they're cold.
I'm not. No. It takes a lot to get it. I have
from a buddy Nunez that made it for me.
I have about 3 worth of insulation on me.
The Nunez, thank you very
If
much.
we became into a dying situation, you could probably cut him open like Star Wars and climb in him.
Yeah, one of those animals in Star Wars.
Like a bit of Star Wars, do you?
No, I like that scene though. Yeah, I like that scene.
Do you just like comic book or like that kind of shit?
No, we were never into comic books or like.
You like Star Wars, don't you?
I've been watching The Mandalorian stuff.
Star Wars, Star Trek.
I used to watch every single movie.
No, I know that much.
Yeah.
We don't know. I'm a huge fan, yeah.
I used to say it earlier. Like,
you can
like
see
Star
it.
Trek.
You can cut me
like
on
Trekkie wife,
for sure.
Which she doesn't like.
Without a doubt.
Baby, you like Star Trek,
I wouldn't
right?
be mad at you.
Wow, look at those eyes.
Yo.
You deal with that? My wife did that. That means I'm getting an elbow next.
Yeah, later I'll pay for that one.
Yeah, you are. It's okay. Just bite the pillow, you'll be
Puerto
fine.
Rican cheese.
Push through it.
Half Puerto Rican, half El Salvadoran.
So that's 100% knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% switchblade.
Imagine if we end up with a baby. Half Puerto Rican, El Salvadoran, and Irish.
Pickpocket knife wielder.
Yo, it's gonna be a mad.
Oliver Twist right there.
There you go.
Name him Oliver.
We got a Robin Hood and fucking Oliver Twist together.
I like Robin Hood part.
My wife's half Colombian, half.
Big Robin Hood fan, by the way. Men in Tights, great movie. And the one with what's his name?
Kevin Costner.
Thank you.
Joint, that thing's a baseball bat.
That's right. That's what I smoke, buddy.
That's what he smokes.
Me.
I smoke about 8 of those, 10 of those a day.
Tight, nice.
Yeah, I'm fucking right. I don't
Josh is a.
You don't smoke weed, huh?
No,
Never.
he had to learn over the years not to piss. Everyone's very polite around if they'll pass to me. And when we're driving, I just go like this and take it out the window.
I don't pass to because I don't want to waste my weed.
Don't pass it that.
When people stop passing, like,
You only do that once.
I did it a couple times before people
No,
learn.
I'm saying someone only passes it to you once.
Yeah,
you have to
people around North Arlington aren't the smartest people. Yeah, they forget.
Fuck me.
Plus, usually when you're high, you know.
Yeah, you just smoke.
One of those little details.
A question for you.
8 inches.
No, it's not. That's live.
I'll send you pictures right
Straight
now.
on a good day.
I'll send you pictures right now. I remember.
So you'll remember forever.
3 o'clock tonight, you're getting it.
Just get it out, man.
If I can't masturbate in front of a porn star, I can't jerk off right now.
Fuck's sake.
There's rules in my relationship.
So, question: the fucking are you into like fossils and stuff, or
We're into old shit. We like the story. Like, one of the things we did not too long ago in our lives, we knocked down a house that was owned by Lord Sterling, who was a general in the Revolutionary War. And we got so much shit out of that house that like, real cool artifact.
The bathroom was also very haunted.
I seen you putting like hold that thought, muriatic acid.
That is a fuel transfer valve.
Brass up.
That's a brass. I got it off a shipwreck that went down in 1917. The boat was called the USS Mary Ellis. It was a shipwreck out in the Long Island Sound in Connecticut. It was a naval vessel from World War I that collided with one of our own Navy subs during a routine exercise. So that was my first
little old
scuba dive.
fire.
Worth money.
No, it's a big fire, I guess. But we don't
Still
do
got it?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't do things for money.
Well, he doesn't do things for money. I will do things for money.
Fuck that. How much do you think that's worth?
To the right buyer, a couple bucks.
A couple bucks, saying what?
To-
Thousands?
Probably to whoever's worth paying for it. Anything's worth something to whoever's going to buy it.
How much do you think a mammoth tusk is worth?
A perfect one.
More than your race car.
Anywhere from 6 to 9
$2.
feet, perfect condition, $250,000.
I nearly bought a fucking. I actually messaged. I have to message them back. The Fossil company, Fairbanks, Alaska, whatever. They're selling little crosses, pendants of fucking pieces of ivory from mammoth tusk, and they're making fucking pipes.
I have 2 pieces of ivory from Alaska. I have 2 walrus tusks. I got when I was out there. I worked in Nome.
Thank you so much.
We had to do a salvage job. Phoenix Mining, was the company. They lost a piece of equipment in the Bering Sea, and they brought in a couple different dive outfits from all over the country, and then eventually they brought guys in from New York, and we were the ones that found it and brought it up. We did it in, I think, 6 days. When I was out there, I met an Inuit at the bar. Now, these things were expensive. They're like $15, $17, $800. And this drunk guy was sitting there talking to me. He's like, I saw you in the gift shop looking at the tusks. I was like, yeah, I want one. He goes, I got one. $500.
Come to my house.
Which was a steal. Absolute fucking steal. We're talking less than half off. So I was like, all right, well, let me see it. So he goes home, comes back an hour later. Now, he is fucking hammered at this point. Like, he was lit when the conversation started. He went home. I don't know what the fuck he did. Drank fucking pledge. He drank something like on fucking 2.
Moonshine.
Comes back. So he goes, it.
Patching, we call it.
He has it wrapped in a newspaper. So I open it. It's a very nice scrimshaw. It's tagged. It was a clean kill by an Inuit. It's legal to own. It's a nice stuff.
The ivory's dodgy, right?
Yeah. So it was 21 inches long. So I go, what do you want for it? We discussed 500. I'm like, well, since you've been gone, I spent some money. I have 400 now. And he says, well, I can't take 400. I go, you better make a decision. Because I'm about to spend more money. And we're going to have 300. He goes, oh, you have 400. I go, I got 400 right here. So I give him the 400. I get the tusk. Right? So now I put more money and bought more booze. Fuck him. So I go home. Now I have this tusk. Now I get home. At the time, my girlfriend goes, you only have one? You need a matching set. I'm like, well, fuck me. You know, just shit on my parade. I was home for like an hour.
Shit on matching set.
So fast forward 3 weeks later, I'm at a garage sale. No, I'm sorry. Answer an ad on Craigslist for a guy selling an antique bar lamp shade, like Tiffany's. It was really, really sharp looking. It was a brown and tan glass, really, really nice. So we settled on an offer. I went to his house, old timer, and down in Elizabeth, New Jersey. The house was really unassuming. So he's like, oh, you want to see my art collection? Now this is rule number 1: never go in a man's house off a Craigslist. I mean, it's a simple rule. It's not hard to remember.
Or back page.
So I was like, yeah, I do. So I went to his house, and he had like all these original...
I feel like I can take this, man.
I can whoop this guy's ass. 7 years old, I got him, right?
Fine.
So I go inside. I mean, sweetheart of a man. He's telling me how his wife passed away. He has 6 kids. He has a grocery store, right? Set up in his house with shelves, with all food, like an actual grocery store. Big room, and people from the neighborhood and his kids will come over and get what they need, and they leave. And he does that because his wife started it, and he continues it because it gives him company. People talk to him, they come in. He doesn't charge him nothing. Great guy. A lot of lithographs on his walls, originals from Disney movies and all kinds of things like that. Probably $1 million art on his walls. So we're talking. He's like, well, what are you looking for? Like, what's the missing piece of your collection? And I was like, a grizzly bear tooth. Didn't hesitate, a grizzly bear tooth. It's like,
off the tip of the tongue.
Right? So he goes in cigar box, comes back around, opens it, and pulls out a grizzly bear tooth, hands it to me. He goes, there you go, my friend. I go, full disclosure, this isn't for me. This is for my boss, Bobby, who always wanted one. It just came to me. He goes, well, you give that to him. What about you? What do you need? What will make you feel whole? And he's sitting there like dissecting it. I'm like, I don't know. What's going to make me feel whole? Maybe a 10-inch cock. What do I need to be whole?
Call back to your childhood memories. Yeah.
So I'm going through. I go,
quick release.
I need another tusk to match
that one.
My walrus tusk I have now. He goes, come with me. And we get up. We go into a
Shia LaBeouf.
It was a three-bay garage. Sit down, Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf. Love Holes. Great movie. So really got his voice in that movie.
Transformers.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah, but greatest game ever played though. Come on,
Megan Fox. Like, come on, like,
see, I like old Megan Fox.
That's that Megan Fox.
Like Jennifer's Body, Megan Fox.
That's old Megan Fox.
Yeah, you said old Megan Fox.
I'm thinking Transformer Megan Fox.
That's that Megan Fox.
Oh, whatever.
Put a pin in Megan Fox. Middle of the story. So we go in his garage, right? Now I'm still thinking I can take him. We're good. We go in the garage, opens the doors. He
finds out it's a gold glove.
He's like, old man beat my ass. I got knocked out, but I got
put in that one too.
Rang my bell. I was 70 years old.
So many branches off.
My bell. like bring it. I'm still stunned to this day. So I go in the garage. He's looking around. He pulls out a 20-inch walrus.
And you had 21.
I had 21. So I'm looking at it, and it was drilled through to keep a scoreboard for that game, cricket or some shit, some game. There's a scoreboard. So he's like, I go, well, what do you want for it?
That thing, Joe.
He goes, how much cash you got? I had $35 on me.
I've never seen that happen before.
The whole thing came out. He rolled it so good that it came out.
Yo, that's why I was saying, I was like, you gotta like that.
Do that thing with the bottle in the tree again. You put the thing in the thing.
Don't fuck with it.
Just smoked.
Just drop that shit right into the fucking tap. Smoked it.
How the hell? Anyway, so I'm a cash guy. I got $35. So I took $35. I now have a matching set. Back to the old man knocking me back and ringing my bell. I go to a bar. I sit down on the seat. I was there on business. The guy goes, hey, son, you're in my seat.
I feel like I'm a
I go, hey, Pops,
Buddhist monk.
relax. He goes, the bar's open. He said, load chairs open. He goes, that one's my seat. My religion is better than yours.
I don't want to waste it.
You got that from the tabernacle?
That's right.
What are you doing with that?
I'm thinking about it right now. I can't quite shove it back into here.
John, I think you have to say goodnight too.
Just let it go?
I would love to see you throw that out.
I'll never forget him.
You won't. What was that joint you left in the deck?
Rolling on.
I'm like, can we take this deck apart? He's like, that was last summer. I'm like, it might be down there still. And sure as shit, we opened the deck, motherfucker was there. I smoked it.
2 years later. My father wanted to install on gasoline.
It's going. He's like, I don't want to let it go.
It's like abuse.
Why don't you put that in the little thing you have, a little gadget?
No, I'm my own fault. I showed off. He said I should relight it. I'm like, I'll fucking just puff it to fucking life.
I thought you would have been able to puff it.
Yeah, but I didn't take into account Josh's amazing rolling skills and his nice.
Josh, you were fucking high as a look at you. I go to bed.
His eyes are like Jackie Chan over there. You can blindfold him with a shoelace.
He was like, he almost like, I'm looking for help.
He kidnapped me. I want to go home. I love Josh.
Perfect.
Josh is great.
Yo.
So I go to the bar, and I walk in, the guy goes, it's my seat, I go, ain't your seat.
I'm glad.
We're back and forth, son, father, back and forth, name calling each other, and then finally goes, you want to go outside and discuss this? I was like, do I? Let's go. Now, for the sake of the story, I would love to tell you I gave him the first shot. I would. I was like, hey, I put my chin up, I was like, fuck you. No. Well, cocksucker goes, are you ready? I was like, yeah, I'm ready. And before I finish, like, bah, 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 3 pieces of biscuit drops me to a knee. And Lucy goes, you done? I was like, yeah, I'm good.
I don't know.
He was a Golden Glove in the Marine Corps. 79 years old. Still got it.
You don't forget those motions.
Still got it.
Well, once you seen the hands go up like Notre Dame,
yeah, you know, fuck.
Yeah, fuck that.
I thought it was fun. I was kidding. He wasn't. So we go back inside. He buys me a beer. And he points to a little
So he's a real man then?
Yeah, a little brass plaque on the bar with his name. I goes, I told you, son. My fucking chair. There was his name. I was like,
they don't make men like that anymore.
I was like, all right. And he hands me my beer and puts it on my face. I was like, you're a fucking prick.
My grandfather, still to this day, like he passed away a long time ago. Fuck it. I'm sorry for not knowing. My mother would kill me, but probably 10 years ago. And still to this day, in the bar that he used to sit in, it says on the wall, he had a plaque on the wall, him and his friend. He was called Eddie, his friend was called Stevie. And they were so well respected, they had a wee brass plaque on the wall that said Eddie and Stevie's place. And if anybody was sitting on that seat when they walked in, they had to get up.
See, no one
Still
told
to this day,
no one
plaques
told me that.
You know?
Now you look. He's like Applebee's bars. I'm like, oh, no, we're good.
Eddie Marker.
Oh, we're at Applebee's.
He's
so
in Chile. He's like, yo, what the fuck?
Whose chair is this?
Man.
Hey, you're hogging the crate.
No, you need the crate though.
That's a little short. Look at this fucking chair.
No, you need the crate.
Yeah,
sissy
for the
likes these
GSR and
crates.
Tiger seats, you definitely need the crate.
That's a nice name drop. I bet you someone somewhere is looking for these seats, and you're like, they're my chairs in my garage.
They were in my car for a long time, and then I got the Recaro seats and took them out. So.
Oh, you got fancy?
Yeah, the Recaros are worth a lot of money these days.
I see you got a good tax return, huh? Very nice.
Yeah, that's why I have a wee plastic bag. I'm scared to sit in them.
You just get those beaded covers that the cabs have.
That's when you know it's bad, when you buy something and you're scared to use it. You know what I mean?
Not me.
Nah, I just go right into it.
Right into it, balls deep.
Yeah, so I do that with sneakers, not like I buy and just don't give a fuck.
I had a pair of $1,200. What were
them
those
seats?
shoes?
Them seats are different. I can't get another set. The 30-year-old seats. You know what I mean?
Why can't you get us? There's junkyards all over the world, brother.
I know, but if you get
eBay.
If you get a set that's recovered, they're not original. If you get a set that's dirty,
have you seen?
We got OCD. You know?
There was a red Honda. It wasn't a hatchback. Rollback. What do you call these?
That's a hatchback. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an EK.
This was a regular one. was a 2-door. It was red, and it was original. I think 95 memory served. It sold at auction for like $49,000.
It's the EK9 right-hand drive, probably.
No, it was regular one.
Oh, so it was
Yeah,
a
but it was
real
a-
SI, maybe.
It was all original. Original
It's
paint,
a real
everything,
SI.
and it sold for like 50
It
grand.
had like
for a
5,000 miles on it or something.
So a DC2 Integra, left-hand drive, American market one with the circle headlights is sold for like 105,000.
You were in the wrong business.
Well, these cars in
I think we're
Ireland,
doing just fine.
these cars in
Wow.
Ireland, there was none left. They stole and burnt them all. Like the kids in Ireland, they didn't steal them and break them and like sell parts and all. They stole them and did handbrake turns in them until it stopped. And it was never the motor that stopped. It was either the fucking wheels popped or the the
Maybe
trailer,
one or two wheels fell off.
and then burnt them.
I respect that.
Mm.
Well, you did just.
Go on YouTube if you're ever bored and type
I'm
in
always bored.
whole glass hoods, Devil's hoods. You'll have a laugh. I tell you.
Alright.
You see some crazy videos.
I expect you to send me some links.
I will.
I'm gonna send you a dick pic later. Sometimes
Yeah,
what I
shut
do
it up. Yeah.
Small dick pic.
at 3
Just
in the
a wee
morning,
dick
what I'll do is I'll send you a picture of a deck,
Mhm.
an unsolicited deck pic, just decks. And you're like, what the fuck is this? It's a nice deck, right?
I don't know why it's coming into my head when you said deck, but you think you could do the Cuba Gooding Jr. fucking walk with
Give me my 12 steps, cookie.
with the one leg
one
in the
leg.
diver suit?
Yo, I heard the real guy.
That was a real story, right?
Yeah, I worked with a guy.
Men of Honor.
Men of Honor.
Dude.
Yo, what was that guy from Walker? A bald guy. He was the manager, not manager. He was Chris Weaver. Chris Weaver worked with Carl Brochier's son.
Paul Brashear.
So his son became a Master Chief, I'm told, as well, in the Navy. And the guy we worked with was also a Master Chief in the Navy, and they knew each other. And he said the old man was a fucking miserable prick. Never met him. I don't know if to be factual. Which
His leg got cut off from the rope.
No need to be an asshole.
Yeah, stick your toe over. Hop over and get over yourself.
You know what they call a woman with one leg shorter than the other? Eileen.
I mean,
Fuck
that was a stretch.
That's an old one.
Yeah, stretch one leg shorter. Fuck you guys.
It's this thing on.
So crap.
The fucking Carl Brashear, that suit have you ever?
Yes, I've worn one. It's a Mark V.
Weird Halloween.
Was
Would it work today? Like,
yeah, absolutely. John
that's
Reed's
vacuum,
has
or
one.
How does the air?
It clamps, and then it's fed with a hose, same as ours. But ours is when we breathe with a diaphragm, it's on demand. That's constant. Constant flow, constant exhaust. There's a similar helmet called the Desco Pot that also has that nowadays, which we work with a guy, again, the Sea Monster likes to wear one on his free time, which is strange because it goes on your head, and then there's a piece of rope that goes here, goes under your dick, into your taint, up your crack, on the other side, and then they cinch it shut.
We call it your barse.
That's, they keep
The bit between your balls and your arse.
a barse. You don't call it a taint, a grundle, nothing?
Because we don't say ass, we say arse.
Yeah, why is
So between your balls and your arse is your barse.
Does that word come from involving
I don't know if I can
throwing
get
shit?
behind that. I don't know if I can get behind that.
You don't
Does
have.
that word come from
Alright,
involving throwing
it's
shit again?
Again, you didn't appreciate that pun? Get behind arse?
I love
Ass? I never mind.
it. Sorry, man.
Tough.
Tough
crap. So, but it's a Mark V suit. John Reed has one with the original hand crank pump. He posted it recently, and I was like, I need to dive that. Like I want to dive his. And they have a lake out there with like a World War II plane in it that no one's really dove it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to. His son Kenzie, but hi
In
Kenzie.
Alaska.
In Alaska. Kenzie said he could probably if he can finagle that.
How much did you pay for your suit?
My helmet was.
It might be a personal question, but roughly.
That's okay. The helmet was $9,800. I call it my Honda
A
Civic.
helmet.
I call it my Honda because it's the same price as a Honda. Not yours. Your race car. I get it.
No, fucking.
Maybe yours with the
Yeah,
seats.
just fucking.
So the helmet's around 10 grand. A regular vulcanized rubber hazmat suit around between 6 and 7 grand. And then you have your compressor. You have your umbilical. Umbilical. You're looking at.
That's your lifeline.
Yep. So
That's
that's
why they didn't call it an umbilical, I guess. Right?
Yep. You get from about 5 to 9 grand depending on what you have in it, what's made out of, and things like that. You can get a much better one. You one that floats, one that sinks, one that makes you coffee, one that jerks you off. There's a lot of options. Your compressor.
Asian
Now we're talking the high end.
I put a high end. Oh yeah.
package deal.
It's very packaged. Then you have your compressors. You can buy again with anything. You can get real shitty. You can get real high end. And then for the whole spread.
Did you start cheap and work your way up? Or
No,
did
I
you get
started.
good?
I started broken.
Mm.
So a lot of my
I see
gear.
a lot of your stuff's homemade almost. Like,
Yeah, a lot of
I
stuff.
see you have a hoist with the basket, and on Discovery Channel you had it blurred out.
It's a Target basket. Yes.
Yo, I didn't know if I could say it.
Sorry, guys.
Yo, I was like, that's fucking hilarious because I seen it through the blur and then I was like,
Sorry,
that's
guys.
fucking brilliant. Yo, but
Resourceful.
it all works. It fucking
In all
works.
fairness, though, the Target colors.
How far down the sewer does that thing was going? Fucking.
Well, I found the basket in the sewer, so Target, shame on you guys.
Recycle.
Shame on you. Recycle, reuse.
Target.
You're fancy. My mom's mother would call Salvation Army Salays because she's fancy.
Wow, that's
And then I recently went to a Salvation Army out in Pennsylvania. My mother loves thrifting. Big fan of it.
Me
And
too.
I love going with her. We go
I got that
constantly.
for $10. I painted it.
You overpaid. You should pay $5 for it.
The cart?
Yeah.
The
I love the way you said cart. Say it again.
cart.
If I need to order drugs and they're carts, can I call you? You order them for me?
No
I
problem.
want 10 carts. So yeah, I'll pay $5.
10 keys in the cart.
Whoa, wow, that's a lot of money.
There you go.
So the
You got it now.
Yeah, I get it.
Like Joe Rogan's made.
So we go to a Salvation Army in Pennsylvania, and it was on the wall. Someone crocheted it, and it said Salays. And my mom had a good cry over it. Her mother called it that. We go quite often. We have a good time going out there.
Tell me about that suit squeeze. I seen that on your.
So
show.
suit squeeze, that's a good time. It's one of the lesser invasive of the dive sicknesses you can get. But suit squeeze, what happens is, so you're in a vulcanized rubber giant, not a giant condom, right? You're all sealed up like a tuna sandwich, like in John's box.
I know.
Right? So the deeper you go, the amniotic pressure pushes down on you. You have a valve on your chest, which puts air in the suit to prevent it from constricting on you. But sometimes things fuck up or break, or you get in a position where you can't reach it right away, or you're working, you're in the middle of something you can't. Whatever happens,
With the big man.
and it just pinches your entire body, and your body gets black and blued. Like I've had my leg,
It actually
my
gets
entire
that bad.
leg got black and blued, but my whole leg is black.
So it's like a fucking anaconda or something.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Can't say it. Baby bird.
Like a baby bird hugging you.
The woman was an anaconda.
What's the craziest thing, like, moment for you in your experience with him? Like, have you ever had a real man, like, oh fuck, I don't know if he's going to get out of here?
One
Like, you never
time.
got that close?
One time he needed to come up in a hurry, and I pulled him up and
My kid,
pulled him up like 15 foot
it was demasculating.
from the water.
just
Yeah,
hanging
Fuck,
like this, like I'm a fucking jerk off. The compressor died.
You have a tripod as well. That, like,
No, this was just
No,
loose meat.
this is
Oh,
out
this
of
is
the
you.
water. So we
Yeah.
were working.
He's
He's a big guy.
the man you need.
No,
This is your brother too. Like, right?
Side note on the topic. He made this bold statement the other day that he cannot be choked out from the back.
But there's
Said, can't be done. Can't be done. Cannot be done.
Sounds naughty.
So now I'm gonna start paying.
either way I win.
I'm gonna start paying
Either
fighters
way,
to
I
choke
win.
him out. So the compressor died, and the
Hey,
animal
but
got-
time out. There's no Harry Houdini shit, and I don't know you coming up from behind. You got to talk to my brother first about it.
So
I don't want to go down like a sucker. Okay, continue.
you went to school for them. Did
he
you,
fucked off.
No,
But you learned. You probably know just almost.
of course
as
I
much
can
as
put a
he
helmet
does
on and
from
go down
watching,
there.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, almost.
Come on.
Oh.
He's been with you a long time.
When it comes to like
How
fixing
long you wanna-
machines and like general
He's
like
like fuck. Wow.
general knowledge of the actual terminology and everything else, but I can do the work.
How long you been working on?
Ever since we was born.
34 years.
We've been
So,
we've
he
been
know-
getting
he
this
knows
shit
a lot,
forever.
He's known me all my whole life.
So you got a free education, then he went to school. And
Yeah.
No, I got one too.
Mm.
I got one too. So what
He
happened was,
teaching you things.
no, the school
Also,
closed.
yes.
When I told you the woman went to jail who went to school, the woman went to jail. The school got discredited. Hear me out. I go to school. I get my degree. I have this card that said diver tender. Right. That was an entry level card. Now, if you have so much bottom time accumulated, signed off by foremans, you can then take that card and upgrade it to a diver card. Right? So I did that. Now I'm a certified diver. Yeah, ooh. So when the school went out of business and discredited, my sister reached out to the loan services and everything and said, well, this cert's no longer good. I had to turn in my cert, but I already upgraded it. And I got my money back. So I, in turn, also got a fair education.
Well, it doesn't happen every day, right?
No. So I learned all these things, and then he just happened to be there.
And how long? When was your first dive, or when was your first dive?
My first dive was about 10 years ago. No, but actual legal dive or dive?
Yeah, like first time you dived. Like,
Street legal.
Street legal. So the first time I legally dove was when I was in Union 1556. I was working Pier 3 in Brooklyn, and I was working with a bunch of awesome guys. And what happened was...
That's for a company.
Yeah, I was working for Walker Diving at the time, and there was a roster, dive rotation, if you will, and I wasn't on it. I'm still the new guy.
Mhm.
And the older guys were so awesome. One's like, oh, I have an earache, I can't dive today. And the other guy was like, I can't, my other ear's fucked up. And they went in the list, and everyone kept telling the foreman, put the kid in. So they dove me that day, and I never stopped after that. It's good.
Do
It's
you
good
feel
fun.
like that was a leg up fee? Because
Oh yeah, absolutely.
because they were useless fucks and got you in the door.
They weren't useless. They were very good.
Yeah,
they
weren't feeling it that day.
No, they were lying to get me in the water.
Oh, they did you fair.
They did me a solid.
Oh, so my
Yeah.
apologies.
Yeah, so there was like 9 guys in that trailer that were above me.
Plus, it could be comical putting the new guy in the water. Because most guys either don't
Most guys
last
yeah,
or
yeah.
Well, see,
they
freaks
fuck
out.
up. Yeah. But then
Oh,
That's a
then
normal. That's a
Yeah.
normal thing.
Hey Josh, how many apprentices you want to walk off a job today, Josh? He's wrong. Josh is fucked up.
Do you teach people how to dip?
Yeah, she's been a Dougie too. Yeah.
They don't.
Have you taught people?
I had we had Wonton Don and Billy Football from Barstool come out on our boat and dove.
Yo, I want to go. Let me go. I
Never
pay.
Well, we can't pay me; it's not legal.
First
Oh,
ask,
yeah.
and then we say no, then you offer to pass. Don't offer right away.
Yeah,
I would love to go diving if
I'll take
if
that.
that's available.
I'll take it that.
That's fucking amazing.
Let's see how scared he gets.
I'm scared already.
He'll be alright.
What kind of boat do you have?
We have this.
Skiff, you said?
Yeah, it's kind of-
Is it a Carolina skiff?
Nah, it's not Carolina. It's a little.
It's a flat bottom boat.
Yeah.
Right?
We got 200
What
merc in the
size is
back.
it? 200 merc. It's 2-stroke or 4-stroke?
2-stroke, and
Nice.
it
So
goes.
that's a Black Max.
I have no idea. You're talking.
Maybe.
Oh,
I just drive it. I don't really know.
200 2-stroke Merc is a Black Max.
We borrow the
What
boat.
year
It's
is the
ours.
motor? It's like 90s.
Like a no,
2000s.
2014. Maybe.
Well, that's our second
It's
motor
not
on
as
that
old
boat.
as a Black Max.
We-
It's probably EFI. It says
we
on
blew the first
cover.
motor.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't
I got
really.
pictures
Like I said,
somewhere.
I'm not really a motor guy.
Yeah.
I'm a doer.
Yeah, it's Merc.
That was I think Pixelata News posted that.
I just do the work.
Sick.
I don't mind.
So that's our second motor. We blew the first one during this.
Is the boat tin?
Aluminum.
And let's just say
Yeah.
I
You
didn't
guys
blow
blew
the motor.
aluminium, I believe.
I didn't blow the
Aluminium,
motor.
we're in a weird
The prop was too big.
Oh, what was wrong with the prop?
I said I didn't blow the first motor. By the way, the prop was too big.
Who runs the boat? All of you?
I do, but the person that gave us the boat was supposed to be tip top shape and things good to go, and he fucked up and put a prop that's too big.
We don't know.
And I have to
Do you run her
the
wide
hudson.
open all the time?
Not all the time.
Where did you drive? To the East River? You brought the boat by trailer, dipped it in? Or
No, we launched the boat out of Kings Marina in.
Peekskill, New York.
Thank you. See, look at me. That was the answer.
That's
Peekskill,
upstate a
New
little
York.
bit, right?
Upstate a little bit, yeah.
About an hour from the city.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were
Okay,
we were keeping it in midway at
Alpine, New Jersey, Marina.
Alpine Boat Marina. But then we started keeping it in Jersey City because it's just easier.
Mm.
And a friend of ours, Randy, we love you. Randy knows a guy over there, and he got us the permission to go park there. So
Beautiful. Slips aren't easy to come by.
no, slits aren't.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, just a little story. For the first time we drove that boat from Peekskill down to Alpine and then the spot on the East River, it was zero visibility that morning. And this is the first time I'm ever driving a boat that wasn't just like a couple hundred feet in LaGuardia Airport area. This was like me going on a navigable journey that I didn't know where the fuck I was going. And it was zero visibility in the fog. And there was a small craft advisory not to go out.
Fog
And
is
Randy's
the worst
like-
thing for a boat.
Randy's like, I trust a big guy. Go ahead. I'm like,
Fog's even
all
worse.
right.
Fog's almost worse than the heavy sea because like fog, you can't fucking see where you're going.
I
We used a compass.
I use a compass.
That's when you know you're fucked.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing this right.
Sometimes you're better off just stopping.
And we got
And
there.
just
No.
going forward
And then
over.
like halfway
God
there,
hates a coward.
I see these giant lights on either side of the
Can't find
sky.
the video
And
of
it
it.
looked like, honestly, like a spacecraft. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I realized as I get closer, it's the new Tappan Zee Bridge, the Mario Cuomo Bridge.
Mario
Cuomo.
They don't like him, huh? People don't like him.
What are you gonna do?
I've heard some bad things
What
about
did
it.
he do?
He got his
his
nipples
brother or
pierced and
something?
he touched some people. Who knows?
Was he a
Hold on.
pedophile? Like, or
Yeah,
No,
you
no.
know Pierce?
Yeah.
do you think it's funny that we say pedophile instead of pedophile?
I call him jerk off.
I think it's fucked up to touch
Wankers,
kids.
yeah.
But, yeah.
Folks,
Do you know in South Africa they have a Wankers Day? Real national holiday?
what?
I just learned it.
Every day?
Google it. Never did. Never did. Where's the video of the fog?
Yeah, so it was nuts. And then at one point, I realized I was just under that bridge, and the river gets a lot wider over there. So I'm like, I look at him, I just fucking floor it in the fog. Didn't see shit. I'm like, we'll see what happens. No one's supposed to be out here anyway. And I just floored it. And that was exhilarating, not seeing anything in front of you. You're doing
fucking exhilarating.
you're doing about, what, 20 knots?
That boat was 34.
34 knots I was doing? And zero, I didn't say anything.
Yo,
Really puckers up your
that thing
butthole.
bogies with you, but I suppose it's a tin boat, so there's not a lot of boat.
Aluminium.
So just the whole thing started off crazy.
I came from the video of the fog.
What happens?
It's fucking. Well, we're not that fancy yet. Soon I'm gonna be able to like put stuff up on the screen. You know, like say talk like I wanted to like say about the stat base and be able to put a photo of a
All
stat
we gotta
base.
do is print out a picture and just slap it on the wall.
Oh, excuse me.
You're a lady in the back. Within a second. And then slap on the wall. There's a step lesson.
There it is.
Really like foggy pictures.
Yeah.
Like, printed
So you
out.
get low ink. Just keep it low budget.
Yeah, we're so spoiled with the technology that we have, right? It's crazy. Like this podcast and stuff.
How
do you know what I
angry
mean?
do
Think
you
about
get when you can't get your Bluetooth connected?
it.
Or you're downloading
Take
something
it
and
away.
it takes too long.
You're trying to upload a podcast to Dropbox. You know what I'm
And you're like, what the fuck? It has
Bro,
to go to space. Come back. Calm down.
A 2 hour podcast is like 45 gig.
Is that much? Josh, write that down.
Bro,
Pick it up.
it takes a minute to fucking send that shit.
I
I gotta upload that to Dropbox, then you gotta send it away, and then he's gotta send it up.
That's usually editing
Government's got
house.
to look at it.
Yeah.
And send it back.
My boy Arslan, he looks after me, so he's a good lad.
Make sure you get John's good side.
He's going for the Arnold Schwarzenegger look lately. He's killing it. Do you want to see this? Please?
Big boy.
Did you see
You
that?
got
recent-
nudes?
Huh?
You got nudes?
A couple of you.
You see that recent picture of
He's in
Arnold
it.
Schwarzenegger next to Andre
He's a
Giant
good
Chamberlain?
No.
It's nuts.
Oh, for Conan the Barbarian
yeah,
filming
it's
it.
nuts.
Yeah, I saw it. It was past my white bank. Yeah, I saw it.
Wank bank. Yeah, this man knows the lingo.
Have
Have you ever been to Ireland?
No, I've been to England.
Fuck that. Are you coming to
I've
Ireland?
been to
Bunch of
Barcelona.
cunts. You got a place I can stay, I'll
Of
go.
course.
I
Look,
thought they don't accept you there. Now we can go stay at someone's house.
Oh, Sonny's the mayor now, yeah.
Oh, so no, they're
They'll come open arms.
They want us to film in England in the catacombs. We were asked about that if we want to go out there and film in one of the oldest sewer systems. So there's
That's
one in
fucking nice.
England.
I
and
said,
one in
hey,
France.
if you're paying first class, I'll go. First class ticket.
Fun fact:
You know how much
Gans
a
only
first class ticket is to Ireland?
I don't
from
give a
here?
fuck.
But you know how much a first class
8,800 maybe?
It's
Before?
more.
What?
I swear it's like
England?
10 grand one way.
Josh,
Maybe.
Google first class ticket to Ireland.
One way. JFK to fucking.
Whoa! We don't fuck with JFK. Newark Airport.
And I only fly United.
I only fly United. None of that bullshit from
No,
Ireland.
you don't want to fly United. You want to fly Aer Lingus.
Well, they give me fucking haggis for
Yes,
lunch.
she said what?
Yeah, you need Aer Lingus. I tell you, boys. It's
Aer
the way to fly
Lingus?
to Ireland. If you're ever flying to Ireland, you gotta fly Aer Lingus. You don't fly.
It's like
Delta,
oral
you
sex in
know.
the air? What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Aer Lingus is that's
He's
bar.
saying cunnilingus.
He's saying oral sex in the air. That's all
I
I
keep
hear.
hearing cunnilingus.
Corned beef. This is
Now I get it.
That makes sense.
Aer Lingus is our airline.
Dive Winter flew
It's the
Portugal.
one that has the big shamrock on the plane.
Maybe
That sounds like a
you're-
West
yeah.
Thomas's.
Mm.
There's some gangs that had that same
That
number.
sounds very lucky.
We ginger leprechaun driving. But yeah, no, seriously.
How do you feel about leprechauns?
I don't think it's any worse than Sasquatch or fucking Bigfoot. Like, you know?
Are you equivalent America to Sasquatch?
I was up in New Hampshire.
Wow.
It used to be John Wayne and Cowboys. Now it's
Yeah.
fucking Sasquatch.
Yeah, the best
I saw Jacqueline
Joe
Turkey.
Rogan's a Bigfoot.
Jacqueline Turkey reached out to me.
He's a Bigfoot fan.
Well, the guy on Discovery platform who supposedly found a skull of a Bigfoot was proven
What
to
do
be
they
fake.
call it? They call it a bipedal.
Yeah, I was actually
A
compared to
bipedal
him
man
on a conspiracy.
Where do you get this lingo from?
I
You
listen to
Google
too much
that.
Joe Rogan.
Well, you don't follow through with the
Yeah,
Google.
it's-
How much is Ireland, damn it?
It's a smoking a weed. It's I mean,
Look
it's
it up.
it's a bipedal hominoid.
What you call me?
Oh,
I'm straight, thank you very much.
because it goes like
I have a
that.
wife.
Only
That's
Newark.
right.
What?
Is that it?
Only Newark.
Only
North,
North.
JFK, Newark, whatever.
Price not now.
You
Sam was
don't
a cost
need
up
to
over there.
75 and up.
Fucking Whitney Houston was from Newark. We said that earlier.
Yeah, so is no Red Man's from Patterson, right? Patterson.
Something like that. Yeah.
Red Band?
Whitney Houston's from Newark. Yeah, Shaq's from Newark.
Shaq from Newark?
Yeah, he's born in Newark.
I love the story of Shaq
And then
I
his-
heard recently with a shoe
The
company.
Bayonne Blader.
Who the fuck's the Bayonne leader?
Boxer.
What the fuck? He fought Muhammad Ali and shit. He fought a bear in his professional
And so
career.
was, what's it called?
A
Was
bear.
from Jersey.
Like a fat hairy man?
Chuck Wepner. That's his
Or an
name.
actual bear?
You don't know who
James
I
I
Braddock.
don't watch a lot of sports.
Chuck Wepner. He was a
Braddock was too. James Braddock was.
You know,
A lot of
was
boxers
Jersey.
out of Newark.
Yeah.
How much did it cost me?
A lot of hard men.
And then Dr.
A
Not
lot
to
of
mention
bodies.
Frank Sinatra,
A lot of
Hulk
bodies,
Hogan,
I'm sure, in the sewer too.
Frank Sinatra, Bon
If you find a
Jovi.
body, I suppose you can't.
James
In the
Cameron.
sewer, I gotta talk about it.
Yeah, you
I gotta tell somebody. I usually have a camera on.
Mm.
But in the river,
Do you have you found a gun or anything ever?
you ever do it?
Leave it there.
You dig a little hole.
Mm.
Like this. And you go.
So I got a story for you.
Big trouble, right? If
No, I'm respectful. I'm not gonna fuck with your shit.
It's at the
I'm not
bottom of the river.
This there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't drop it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if there's like a nickel plate or stainless steel or something, you can bring it up. It's usable.
Scrap value.
Yeah, if it's a Glock and it's still working.
Yeah.
Fuck that 50 wire pack.
We were working on PA and my buddy bought a Glock and we were seeing it work underwater. They work.
Mm.
It was fun.
A good gun, man. Well built. Do you have any guns?
No, I'm a convicted felon. I can't have it.
Yeah, New Jersey's very strict.
Yeah.
Mm.
But if I were, like, I would like a
I have
229.
shotguns. I like shotguns. I don't have any short ones. Like.
Shotguns. Are you a Remington man?
I have
Remington 880?
no. I have a Remington 870 tactical.
Have you seen the Black Hawk version of that? It's a Chinese knockoff. It's around $212 shipped.
Remingtons are cheap themselves.
I understand, but this is $200.
$300 or something.
It's $200.
Mm-hmm.
And you get them on sale for like $150 on holiday
And
season.
it blows up in your face.
No, works just the same, and all the attachments Remington fit on it. That's all I'm saying.
Alright.
Do whatever you want with that information.
Sometimes you get a knockoff that's not too bad.
Yeah. No, I hear it.
I had a
Except
friend
when
of
you get a
mine.
fucking iPhone charger and it burns your house down.
That escalated quickly. Jesus.
I just
Burn the fuck out!
I just watched the fucking poor fella in Long Island. The whole house burnt down.
Well, he's from Long Island. He probably deserves
Is he making meth? Yeah, it was an old iPhone charger. This guy's like, oh my god! He's actually cooking meth in his basement.
Yeah, because it was funny because he was like, I shouldn't even be telling this story. God bless the poor guy. But he's like, yeah, I'll show you in the house where it burnt down. He was like, going to show the spot where it happened, and he's like, oh, for your discretion, I don't want to show you. And I was like, that sounded a little dodgy.
Dildos everywhere.
It burned my dildo collection. You guys are all fucked up. Josh, how much did it cost me?
$5,700 per
Look
month.
at that.
Reasonable.
Look at that.
We can do this right now.
Round trip?
Round trip.
Wow, let's go
First
right
class.
now.
First class?
No, but who's that with though?
You got hosts,
American
my man.
Airlines.
You got
No,
hosts.
the only fly to cuddle in.
I never flew
They don't
first
have. They
class.
don't have.
But that's in
straight-
Jersey, right?
That's in Jersey. See, that's not JFK.
Yeah.
I mean, we fly to JFK.
Ugh.
Excuse us. I mean,
JFK.
fly to
I
Manhattan.
don't get JFK on me.
Yeah.
Newark's, the new terminal's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
What is-
I did?
My father flew into Newark by mistake one time.
Not an accent. It's the best way to
It's not like it's like Newark in the 80s. It's fine
Yeah,
now.
you're okay. Don't go too far.
Do they call it TWA over there as well? The fucking it's
TSA?
in JFK they changed the name of it to TWA. That's like the 60s airport back in the day, right?
Yeah, remember T-Ray didn't they have a bad flight that crashed?
Pana.
Yeah.
My dad worked for Pan Am.
I was there this past summer, the memorial.
Yo, speaking of Jersey,
TWA Flight 100.
the fucking Goodfellas was based on the robbery from JFK, right? The
Yeah.
Lufthansa heist, right? And that was all fucking Jersey boys,
My
right?
wife's texting me. I'm not being rude.
Fallon?
Yeah.
Tell Fallon we said hello. Ask Fallon is her name, an Irish name.
You call her and ask her.
Jesus
Let's not
Christ.
fuck around. Let's get it
Careful
done.
what you wish for, holy fuck.
Get it done.
How you doing?
I don't.
Hi, babe. I'm here with my new friend.
What's happening, Fallon?
So he's telling me Fallon's an Irish name. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
told you.
Alright, it is.
Fallon, do you have a wee fada over your end of the letters?
Do you have a squiggly line?
You got a piece of spaghetti over your name?
You got limp spaghetti over your name?
Oh, come on. That's what it looks like, dude.
We're still doing this. We're trying to call it, see how your name was pronounced.
Sorry for holding them back, Fallon.
So,
I really appreciate
She hates me. She's going home anyway. Bye, babe. Love you. So it is Irish. I didn't think you were completely wrong, but I thought maybe you were hitting the weed a little too.
And it's funny, what do you call that fucking guy on TV? Jimmy Falloon? Jimmy Fallon.
Fallon?
And I always call him Falloon, and she laughs at me every time.
My dad always makes the joke, if Fallon married Jimmy Fallon, she'd be Fallon. And he thinks it's fucking hilarious. He dies. He's also probably high when he says it.
It's alright.
But he's a simple man.
He's a simple man. He's like, ha 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 ha! Boy, ain't that funny, guys?
Yo,
Yeah.
no, I want to ask you two dude wipes.
Dude wipes,
Is
yes.
that yours?
Yes, I don't own it now. They sponsored us.
So wipes plague your life, I guess, because you're a sewer diver?
They do, but these are flushable wipes. These are biodegradable wipes.
Talk to my landlord. He fucking hates us about
He hates
wipes.
dude wipes?
No, because he says that we put wipes in the
Do you
black
put
the
wipes?
sewer. And I tell him she doesn't fucking do it. And I'm like, bro, and even if she did do it, like I can't tell my wife what the fuck I wipe her arse with. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could if you were a real man.
Too shit.
Don't take her shit. She probably has a blade.
Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, I get you.
like if somebody wants to wipe their arse with something fucking soft,
Like I like to use
like
pine
you told
cones.
me what toilet paper to use, and I was like, what? You can't tell your tenant what toilet.
If he's buying it and supplying it, I'd use
That's
it.
different, yeah.
Yeah, if he'd be like, I'd be
Otherwise-
that, then bring
Otherwise,
over
you're
a case.
gonna get fucked.
Yeah, bring over a case. Otherwise, go fuck
It's got
them up.
1960s plumbing. That's why we gotta use fucking one ply stuff that your fucking finger slips through when you
Wait,
wipe your arse.
you wipe from the front of the.
No, back.
You wipe that way? It's not good that way. You get all.
It's because I'm sitting this way.
It's a weird, it's a weird way to wipe. Because you get infections.
Can't really get around that way.
We bends. We're bigger than you. We're in the problem doing it.
Oh,
Hey, don't.
I'll send you a diagram when I get home. I'll get a video.
I
I'll show you.
stand. That's what my problem is.
You shit and stand?
No, I wipe my arse. I stand.
I think
right
everyone
there.
does. You do lean?
Some people sit down.
Hey, Josh, you wipe your ass. You lean over? Or do you sit down?
Yeah, I lean like a normal human being.
You lean?
People sit down.
You have that much faith
I
in those
stand
tiny
up,
little
boys,
brass
and-
nuts. Hold the toilet on. They're like this big. Fucking no, they're like a quarter-inch thick
You
little
don't,
brass.
you don't know
thing.
how I lean?
Yeah, they are.
Leaning's leaning.
Gangster lean.
I got these horse thighs, bud. It's fine.
Horse style.
Horses don't have big
Like a
thighs.
Clyde
Yes,
stick.
they do. What do you?
Josh, give me a picture of a horse's leg.
Horse's leg, huge thighs, down to skinny knees and
But you don't have, your calves are like this. You want to see a man's calves? John, show me the calves.
Oh, we're getting the calves now?
Yeah, look at his calves. Watch this.
I'll have a look.
Look at his calves.
Damn, look at
That's
that.
a
It's
lot
like
of calf.
a calf on top of a calf.
It's
Look
bigger than your head.
at that shit.
That's
Look
right.
at the definition.
Imagine that getting kicked out.
Holy.
So don't worry about my
It was
leaning.
like Mount Rushmore.
Serious calf.
Without the faces.
I don't have that kind of calf. I swim for a living. I don't have that kind of calf.
Just these legs have to support this
Like,
bodacious
you
body.
do like
So.
you do them wee dips, you know.
No, bless your
No.
heart. I get out of bed.
White funny, you work out weird?
I get out of bed and walk
Jesus.
around. That's why I'm working
I
out.
don't work out too much as you can see.
Me neither. I'm like ice cream. I'm very pliable.
So it's cushion for the
Yeah,
pleasure, like
sure.
I said earlier. What? You have a car tattooed here?
Oh yeah, I have a Mustang. Where is it?
Fox body
Yeah.
Mustang.
And then I have.
Did you own a Fox body?
I did. No, that was my ex-girlfriend's car.
Then he has a
That's
vest. He has a
64
vest on
pounds.
his foot.
Yeah, so I'm down
What the?
I'm
That's
down
a man doing.
in Louisiana, right? So I have a Chevelle. I have a '60s Chevy pickup. So I was down in
We got the
Louisiana.
fucking checkered flag and
Yep.
all. See, man says he doesn't like cars. You got fucking cars all over him.
Show him the vest on your foot.
I have a Vespa on my foot. I have the
You ever
Lego.
drove a Vespa?
Yeah, I have a Lego Spider-Man. I have a Yukon
There's a
Cornelius.
city bike on his ass.
I have a city bike going.
Fuck off.
So I was down in Louisiana for Dot Convention. I go to a tattoo shop, right? I walked into the place. And I go, who's in Paula's outside?
That's a good one.
Now, this guy was fucking 500 pounds. Very large African-American man. Big guy. I go, who's Impala? He goes, it's mine. I go, how much to tattoo that car on my calf? He goes, is it riding on 3? I'm like, is there a new way to ride it? He goes,
Naturally.
$200. Now, I made a joke. I said, I need an 8-ball and a 38 to top me off. He goes, okay, sit down.
For people in Ireland,
And 38.
They know what an 8-ball is.
It's a pistola. It's a pistola. 38's a pistola.
Yeah.
So
Gun.
I'm sitting there, and he's tattooing me, and the shop's real empty. It was during Mardi Gras at the same time, and also the Dive Convention's the same week. I'm not sure who planned that. Man's a fucking genius. So I get to go to Mardi Gras for free because it's a work-related trip. So I'm getting tattooed. And about an hour into this, we're hanging out. He starts to get the stencil done. He draws a lot of it by hand. Starts tattooing me, and this guy walks in and puts a brown bag on his workstation. He goes, catch you later, right? So the guy's looking at me and goes, yo, $6 brother. I was like, what? So I'm looking, I go, for that? He goes,
$600.
no, that's 2 bills. Your order's 6. And I look at the bag, and he hands it to me. It was a 38 stub nose with an 8-ball. Now, I ordered it. I was kidding. I was being a buster. I was not serious.
There goes his per diem. Yeah.
3 grams of coke and a gun.
Well, 3.3 grams of coke. Ball be a gentleman.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to weigh it.
Back home in
If I'm
Ireland,
paying it.
back home in Ireland, they're going to shortchange you every time. You ain't getting
I don't like that. Not myself.
And they're going to charge you double too.
So I get to the end of the bag. He goes, "Only 600." No, I'm like, I'm not a jerk off. Like I paid the man, but I didn't pay him 600. So open the bag. It's a wood grain handle.
No serial number.
No, there's something on it. But Louisiana has a weird purchasing thing.
Mm.
So I'm looking at it, and it has it's an older one. I go, I'm not paying.
Louisiana's real cowboy.
I'm not paying $6 for this fucking relic. I'm like, I'll give you 4 for the bag. I put the bag back down. So a little while goes by.
This guy's a gangster.
He goes, $450. I go, $425. He goes, no, $450. Bottom line. I go, then $150 for the tattoo. He goes, you're buying the drinks because across the street was this bar that sold these grenades. They're called like a frozen drink, all kinds of liquor in it. I was like, "What are you drinking?" He goes, "A grenade." I go, "Say less. I'll be right back." I went across the street. I'm still fucking getting tattooed. I get 4 grenades. Come back. I get him two for me, and we start bullshitting. Next thing I know, he's like, "You gonna open this up here? What are you doing with this?" I'm like, "I'm a gentleman. I'm not an asshole." Like, yeah, whack up some. So
Mix a little gunpowder.
yeah, we're fucking hanging out. I am leaving there with 2 grams and a 38. Now I'm not
Shooting target.
I'm gonna fly home. What am I doing it? We're doing this fucking 38. So I had a friend of mine that lives down
Cut
there.
a couple kids and give it to them.
Something out of Scorsese.
So I was hanging out with a friend that I went to high school with that lives down there now. So I was hanging with him. I was like, "You want this?" He's like, "What do you want for it?" I was like, $6.
Yo.
I sold it to him, $6. Yeah.
Fucking that's a.
So I got the tattoo, and the blow, and the pistol.
It made about $250.
Fucking amazing
That
story.
tattoo. Yeah.
Holy fuck me.
I had a good time down there. I was there for a couple days. It was a good time.
So you'd recommend Louisiana there?
I would recommend Mardi Gras.
Mm.
And on that same
Mardi
trip,
Gras, New Orleans? No.
on the same
Yeah.
trip, he ran into our old high school principal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You were
In Louisiana.
Our
Yeah.
principal-
on the gear?
Yeah, our principal left our town with the Spanish teacher. They ran away together, right? They ran away together. Spanish teacher and a principal ran away together. I don't know if you heard that. Our Spanish teacher, who was not married to our principal, somebody else, and our principal, who was not married to our Spanish teacher, left their significant others and ran away together. I'm in the middle of nowhere watching a paddle boat.
What school?
During
did
a
you go to?
sunset.
What you can't say.
Yeah, I went to North Arlington High School.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Don't give a fuck. Watch Reaper Your Dick. You know what I'm talking about?
Gang gang.
So I'm sitting there. I'm the only jerk off on this balcony watching a paddle boat. Because a friend of mine was like, "Oh, you ever see a paddle boat?"
Graduated
Speedboat."
0405.
I said no. He goes, "Well, if you take a ride and look down the road over here, you can see one leaving port." I'm like, "Actually, I want to go see that." So I left. I broke off from the crew and I went over there. I'm sitting there at sunset watching a paddle boat,
Real majestic.
drinking a grenade, lit. No, I'm sorry, I was drinking a 101 octane. It was another drink. And I look over. I'm like, "There's no fucking way. That's Miss Pereira." And then I see her kissing an older gentleman. I was like, "Oh, that's so romantic." And I go, "That's not Mr. Pereira."
Pereira, you naughty girl.
Right, so that's Bobby K, Mr. Kimlock, our principal. There he was, in the flesh. So like, no fucking way. I FaceTime my
A
mom.
real fantastic principal. By the
Was
way.
this the
Great guy.
first time you ever seen him in regular clothes, or you seen him in
No, who's gonna shoot that dude? Man,
Wow.
fixed the belting all the time. Never turned it off, right? So I FaceTime my mom. I'm like,
How
look
else,
at this.
how else do you beg a Spanish teacher?
Yeah, she was fucking primo.
Mm.
Yeah.
Easy,
Prima.
buddy.
He's pretty man, yeah, I'll say.
No, prima.
A prima?
Yeah, it's a feminine.
Do I need to
Prima.
turn my head like that when I said prima?
Yeah, I had the finger and all. You didn't see the finger?
I had this finger.
The finger. Oh.
John blows like that. He's a real classy guy.
No, no.
So I FaceTime my mother
Yeah.
to show them there.
So
Because I called her and she didn't believe me, so I FaceTime. And she like, told me the whole story, how they ran away together and how they're living a life of just lovely life.
What a
And here I come in like,
Sounds like, want to buy 38?
So really?
can't kick me out of this school.
He goes, no, I got my own, thanks.
He was loaded?
I don't know.
Well, where it counts.
Yeah.
I had a great
Well,
time.
it had to be loaded to get that.
If you want to get a Spanish teacher, you got to be loaded.
Yeah, you gotta be hung too.
Hell.
Yeah, it was a good time. The only thing that sucked about Louisiana was, I don't know if you know this, the bank Wells Fargo, right, does not have a branch in Louisiana. They don't have one. So I kept my card, my debit card maxed out $1,000 a day. $1,000 in expenditures and $500 at the ATM. And lo and behold, I was surpassing that number daily. So I called to get it up, and they're like, "Well, just write a check." I'm like, "There's not a stripper in Louisiana. I'll take a fucking check." And the woman's like, I'm like, "There's no drug dealer taking the checks either."
Get your act together,
They
Wells
take card
Fargo.
though, or
Yeah.
that's why.
So I had to drive to Mississippi to get money out to continue my trip.
What happened, John?
I just never came up with a great invention.
Lightning has struck my brain.
I see the fucking light bulb come on. I swear to
Right for
God,
this,
the fucking
right for
smoke
this,
came out of his ears.
right for this.
Josh, write this down.
Yo, careful, everybody's listening. So
That's fine.
All five.
Two dudes, one mic.
A G-string that has a built-in scanner in the butt part, so you just swipe down.
There you go.
No, you did the RFI reader. Just tap the
Well,
pussy.
Okay,
now
that
you go-
too.
Tap the pussy.
Okay, that too. But a swipe's cool. Like, swipe's cool.
Nah, he was a slap on the
Tap
dick.
on the ass.
You look, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess a tap would work too. Fine.
I don't think
Well,
it
we
was
can
that
have we
good.
can have all options. There you go. You know what I mean?
I don't think they have
Now,
those.
you guys
so-
in Ireland have coins as $1, right?
We
Euros?
have, well, we have pound coin. Yeah. We don't have a paper.
That's right.
Paper.
So how do
time.
strip clubs work? Not to say you ever
We
been
don't
to
have
one with
Don't
your
have
regular.
them.
You don't have them.
Ireland don't have them.
It's because everyone's gypsies. Like
You
what
want
the
a
fuck?
strip club, you have to go to England. The only strip
I was
club.
gonna say it's called your cousin's house.
Only strip club I've ever been in my life. I went to what we call a stag do.
Why not?
We call it a stag do. So it's your version of a bachelor party.
A stag party.
Yeah.
It's
Jinx.
called a stag do. So we don't even call it a
So like a
party.
morning moisture.
D-O just.
I can't spell either one, so I'm not impressed. You can spell it for you.
Stag do. That's what they call it, isn't it? So
Real scholar over here.
Yeah.
we go on a stag do and we went to Brighton. You ever heard of Brighton? In England?
Brighton Beach.
In England?
No.
Correct.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's actually the gay capital of the UK. But
I think all of England is the gay capital.
But it's really gay.
You know what I'm saying?
Really flamboyant.
You can get what I'm saying.
And they got strip clubs there. They call them titty bars. So.
It's
We
so-
call them that here,
yeah.
too.
It's all,
I guess in the gay capital, you gotta really distinguish between titty bar and strip club.
but it's that.
Well, a strip club for us is they're wearing bikinis. They serve alcohol. Titty bar is you bring your own alcohol and they're fully nude.
Which one had there's the bottle girls? That's different then as well, right? Or is
I think
that,
a lot of them have bottle.
Yeah,
Well,
they
the
serve
ones that
you.
serve. Yeah,
Yeah.
the ones that.
I've never been to one.
Yeah, oh, you're insane over here.
Yeah.
Who got tattoos and get blown 38s, but he won't go to strip clubs.
That's where he draws the line.
Real Christopher Columbus over here.
Folks.
Real St. Patrick's.
Oh Jesus.
What, you guys never bought a gun on fucking holiday? Also, I'm fucking what?
Yo, I can't believe they buying a gun.
One of them
on
full of
holidays
tequila.
or something.
I was kidding, and the guy did it. I couldn't be an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least he brought you your gear. So. Yeah.
Mighty white,
Plus.
one might say, because it was white.
So, one other question I want to ask you as well
8 inches.
before you fucking leave.
I'm not leaving. I'm here all night, bro. I got sleeping bag.
You got that guest room ready for them?
No, I'll see the truck. It's okay.
We got a guest room, so don't worry. Anytime, boys. I'll look after you. I mean, you just want to go to Ireland too? I'll roll the red carpet out for you. Just let me know. I mean that. Like,
I just want you to understand something before you continue this conversation. If you invite us somewhere,
We'll come in.
it could be your family reunion, it could be a beach party, it could be a fucking barbecue. The chances of us showing up are better than us not showing
Very
up.
high.
oh, I see. You should.
We will show the fuck
Man
up.
doesn't even know me, and he said, "I'm coming to your podcast." And I
Oh,
was
what?
like, "This guy's fucking. He's fucking crazy." And there he is.
It's not like you're like 8 hours away somewhere.
No, 2
Yeah.
hours is a big drive to a lot of people. Man.
No, you get a Josh, he drives you, no problem.
He's a good lad, Josh.
Josh is
Very
We
high
need more
right now.
people like Josh.
he carries this team.
He's a good lad.
Yeah.
He
It's like
is
my
the
wife. My
cement
wife's the
piece.
brains of the operation.
Josh is in our brains, but he carries the team.
He shows up with good spirits at least.
Yeah. He lacks in knowledge, he makes up an
He knows how
enthusiasm.
to roll a hell of a
Yeah.
joint.
Well, so how bad is the sewers in the East Coast? Like, how are they in a
For
bad?
shit.
I heard they're in a real like bad.
They're in a
like,
horrible state of decay.
decay.
They don't
decrepit, falling apart.
They don't do any
fucking-
preventative maintenance that I think that should be done. I think they lack in that department. They don't fix something until it's broken. They need to get on top of the preventative maintenance as much as anything else they're doing. Just because they have this mindset of out of sight, out of mind.
Mm.
The problem is, as soon as something that fails, everything behind it fails.
And there's shit. He's in
And
the
there's
street,
shit
right?
everywhere. Yeah.
In the street, right?
And
Backs up.
we're going back to bubonic plague times, and we're fucking. You don't have
It's the
that.
only thing that separates us now in the fucking like Western is that we have sewer systems.
That was my one line on sewer divers. What separates us from the animals is indoor
I think I
plumbing.
got that from you. I'm sorry.
Indoor plumbing. It's
That
okay.
probably stole it from
You can use it.
Yeah,
Feel
you-
free.
You inspired me with that one. I had to say.
Inspiration is a funny thing.
It's beautiful. But it's no. So all jokes aside, like it's a fucking really scary thing because, like you said, it's out of sight, out of mind. People don't think about it, but like when you flush the toilet, you take it for granted.
Like, look at right now. You're one tenant of a building, and your guy's like, you're flushing wipes, you're fucking everything up, right? That's one person.
One building
Times it by 1,000,000.
or like a tower block of fucking
Yeah.
Or 1,200 apartments.
Yeah, on
Yeah,
top
you
of
keep
each
timing that, and then your average
Or like
square
Manhattan.
house is what, 3.5 people, as the consensus says. I'm not sure if half a person, but 3.5 people. That's 3.5 wipes, once, twice, 3 times a day, times 1,200 for one building. I mean, it's that no one thinks that their little tiny boop is making a difference, but it adds up, and no one thinks about it.
You ever do that before?
What?
Hit the flusher and go boop.
Every time.
Figure.
The likelihood of me not going boop is better.
One thing
Sure.
we saw in Ireland was cool as fuck. I had to go back into the toilet and take a picture of it. They had a little print of a fly on the urinal, so that you aimed at the fly when you were pissing.
We have that around here, but it's a picture of.
Jane Fonda.
Thank you.
Is it tiny? I guess
No, it's a target.
Let's just say Jane Fonda was a real.
Jane Fonda's the exercise lady, right?
She did a lot of movies. She's
Yeah,
did a lot of movies now.
she's a
too.
real. She's a real asshole when it came to Vietnam and stuff. She was with hanging out with what's his face, Che Guevara, maybe.
I don't fucking know.
Che Guevara.
Or was
Che
it
Guevara is like a hero in Ireland.
Hero Monaco.
one of those guys? Was it Castro?
Because
was hanging out with somebody.
Che Guevara, I
A
believe, was
Vietnamese general.
Oh, that one of those guys. Yeah.
POWs gave
Whatever.
her a list. The story goes, I wasn't there. This is all secondhand. Apparently, the story goes, the POWs saw her in travel, and the guy gave her a list of their names and their socials to let the people in the States know they're still alive. And she turned and handed it to a Vietnamese general. Like, these guys gave
Yeah,
her.
fuck these guys.
And then those guys got fucked over. That's why there's Jane Fonda urinal targets.
There you go.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't live during this era. I'm just telling you, I've seen them.
She's good looking though, right? Jane
Do you see the new movie with her tits? What's that new movie she's in?
80 for Brady.
No.
The
new
before
one.
that.
The new one.
There's a show, Frankie.
No. The new movie. It's on Netflix. It's like top 10 right now.
Her movie. I don't know.
Anyway, she's tits are fantastic. For her age, God bless her.
Built.
There's other two in the
Built-
world.
built.
Fuck her.
Built for speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, did not comfort.
Fuck her.
I was gonna say built not bought, but they were bought.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm not against it. That's boy. Hey, can't make him buy him. So
If you could touch them, real.
So I don't.
you should end the podcast if you can touch
Call
him.
that
for real.
bombshell.
We're
That's-
done. We're done.
Close it up. Close it up. You have one last question. You have 1.4 million miles of sewer in. Is it America or is it New York or it was on your show? I heard.
I didn't watch my show.
1.4 million miles of sewer.
I think it is the whole United States.
All United States.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
a fucking crazy number. What?
Oh, sewers. You gotta remember, not all sewers are these giant sewers. They pipe down to like this.
How much of the like? I don't know. It's a weird question. Like, but like the
All your questions have been weird.
I'm a weird
Don't
guy.
stop now.
I'm a weird guy.
Let them come.
The shit. How long does it stay in pieces? Like, or when does it turn into water? Mostly, like, because
All right, so he goes from.
it's not just shit. Like, there's
No.
runoff. There's this. There's that.
So everything runs in, right, and then goes to a treatment plant. The treatment plant has emulsifiers and grinds everything up. And then it goes into a holding tank, these giant spinning wands, right? And they pump in different kinds of bacteria that eat shit.
And toilet paper.
And
how do they go?
and then that shit sinks to the bottom, and that heavy muck they scrape out, and then it dries, and they break off like a cake, right? Don't eat it; it's not good.
No.
And the rest of the liquid part, gets treated with all kinds of ethyl methyl bad shit chemicals they mix in, and then I know in New York, in some cases, they release it into the river during rainy days. And then the other stuff in other areas in the world,
Less people out on rainy days.
and they pump it into the ocean.
What happens at high tide?
The water goes up.
But where's all the shit go? What do it got like so like in high tide,
Out
the
with the
sewer
tide.
systems end up flooded.
No, they have tide gates.
Okay.
So they have technology set up so when the tides change, the gates go up and down.
When you go down a manhole and then it goes this way or that way.
Well, those tides don't affect manholes like you'd think. When you have super storms and a big storm surge, and they get past the levees and the doors, then it'll come up. But typically speaking, your everyday rain, you don't have that.
So like when Freeport, like a couple of weeks ago, we had fucking a foot of water in here. Like it just
It came from the water, or it came from the sewers?
came from the fucking ocean.
I hate the ocean.
The fuck, my boy was driving up.
High tide, storm surge.
tide.
Yeah,
My-
tidal
my
surge.
moon.
My boy was driving up and down the road in a jet ski.
That's gangster.
And I got videos of it. I was sending you fucking nuts.
But I enjoy
Georgia, good man.
When we were young, they what was it? Green Street in Hackensack, New Jersey, would flood like 5 feet. So our buddy Greg had a jacked up Bronco, and we'd tie a rope to the hitch, and we'd go inner tubes for trucks, and he'd pull us. Yeah. Now in hindsight, that is extremely dangerous.
So I was thinking, is there
So much
Is-
debris in that water.
is there sewer in that water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, right?
Absolutely. And I love that for us.
Yeah, because I swim in that canal.
I try to avoid canals.
Mm.
Yeah. I do it.
So I dropped my fucking glasses. I have a pair of Cartier glasses.
Not anymore.
Bought them second hand, like,
Well, I don't care about third hand. That's still gangster.
but they're nice. They're 30 years old. They're vintage, and I wear them all the time. And I dropped them in the canal. I was on a jet ski. I was
Did you
working.
find them?
Listen to this. I was working on a fucking jet ski rental, and there was a girl on the back of the ski because she was a customer. She was freaking out. She didn't know how to.
Customer.
Yeah.
God, I can put that in there.
She didn't
Customer,
know,
ma'am.
She didn't know how to operate the vehicle, so I had to jump onto her ski. And when I jumped onto her ski, the
You
thing
wailed
over,
up?
just a wee bit,
Alright.
chip and dale.
Son, girl, I got you.
And you know she was slipping, and we jumped on and fucking she hit me right. I don't know what happened, but she smacked me in the fucking face. My
Smack her
Cartiers.
back?
Nah, I was almost going to smack her.
Sure.
Cartiers right off the face.
It's your own fault. Why are you working at Cartier's?
Because I like to try and look good like a dick.
I like to look good for the fish. I get it.
I won't do it twice, that's for sure. Like,
How did you get them back?
they sunk to the bottom like a rock because they're made of titanium because they're like gold
Cartiers.
plated. But they sunk like a rock, and I ended up getting in touch with a diver from South Africa, and he fucking dove down.
Hold on. Was he living here, or did he come from
He
South
flew out, yeah. That's why first class tickets are a lot.
I paid him $300 and it took him an hour.
And how much long?
Right, he was down there getting other shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then he came back up and fucking he had them in his hand and he's like this and I seen him coming up with the fuck. I seen the sparkle coming up through it. I was like, what the fuck?
It's like a mermaid.
I have a video that I posted on
If you don't
Instagram.
mind me asking, what did these glasses cost you?
How much did I pay for them, beer? I think it was only a few $100. I bought the one eBay.
But now you're into them for $300 on the diver.
And then we'll hear this. So then we went racing, and I was fucking at the track, and something was going on. I had
You're wearing them on a racetrack and on a jet ski. You don't love
so I
these
took
glasses.
them off. I set them on the ground, and I'm doing something, changing the wheel or whatever, and I forgot to run on the ground. I stood on them, squished the fucking glasses, completely squished them flat. And for how long did it take me to get them fixed? I brought them to her
or something or more.
The optician, this optician she fucking goes to says he's been fucking working for glasses for 20 years. He didn't know how he couldn't fix them, and I ended up fixing them myself. I bent them back into shape. I put them.
Did the optician,
Optician?
Thank you. Did he charge you?
He couldn't do it.
I know, but did he charge you?
No,
first
he
time?
said, "I'm so sorry. It's the first time in my 20 years I've never been able to fix a
Rude,
pair
you
of glasses."
broke that man.
And I fixed them. And I still wear them. I have them. Anyway.
These are expensive glasses.
You'll see me wearing them all the time. I always wear them.
So why don't you do an eye exams in here?
That's you wear
Yeah,
them.
leave all the letters.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. These are fucking expensive glasses.
But that was my experience with a diver. Yeah, so-
South African diver too.
South Africa. He was a good lad too.
Most of those guys don't live.
He told me that he found treasure before, like something off of a fucking shipwreck or something worth a lot of money.
I've heard horror stories about diving in South Africa. How companies will hire
Fucked
you,
up country, man.
will go out there to work, and they'll promise you all this money. And before it's time to pay you, they whack you, and they're like, "Oh, what happened to the guy? He left, and he disappeared."
Have you ever heard that Elon Musk's father owned an emerald mine in apartheid South Africa? And apparently that's where he got all his money from.
I thought he built like a .com shit back in the day.
Well,
I don't know much about it, so I'll look at him.
I feel like it's like
Josh, I need you to Google this and send me the link so I can read it tonight.
it's
well, he
interesting
did.
stuff.
He did get a lot of his money from selling his shit, just PayPal kind of thing and all that
His
stuff.
little shit.
The PayPal stuff. And then he ended up buying it back. But
He's an interesting fella, right?
yeah,
Very interesting.
you know.
See why his eyes flutter? He looks like a wee bit of a cyborg or something. A wee bit of a
Well, he
machine.
has
Well, my daughter does
Asperger's.
that, and she's autistic. She flutters.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
has
but like-
Asperger's.
The way he's like processing information as he speaks is.
That's also,
He's probably processing way more than we're saying, and then speak at the same time.
and he also has like public speaking things for a long time. It was like used to bother him, but now since he has to do it, he learned to do it.
Honestly,
that
I
kind
don't
of
know much
shit
about
bothers
him.
Do you never watch this podcast with Joe Rogan?
We established this in the
He's
first
on like
minute
3
of-
times.
I don't watch
That's
podcasts.
true, joking.
No,
He doesn't watch podcasts or
I don't.
sports.
no, I've never seen a sporting event. Not
I don't
necessarily.
I don't like ball sports myself. Anyway.
I bet you don't.
Ball sports.
Seems like a bit of a liar.
He loves cricket though.
No, fuck that. That's an English sport. We don't like it. We like
Yeah.
hurling and Gaelic. That's the Irish sport.
What?
Hurling
A little
and Gaelic.
footy.
Hurling is the
Say
oldest.
footing?
Footy.
One of the
Football.
old.
Soccer.
Gaelic football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's all you should have said in soccer in the first place.
Alright, got
But
that.
the hurling is the fastest ball game in the world on grass. You should look it up.
On grass.
Mm.
Josh, send me information on
Hurling.
hurling.
It's like curling but with a H.
Curling with a H.
There you go. Yep.
Got it.
Got it.
That's right.
I'll learn
It's
more
an
about it
Irish,
tonight.
traditional Irish sport.
Here's what we're going to do. When you come out to us, we're going to set up an actual field. We're going to play this game.
For at least.
We're going to learn how to play.
And by field, he means like
A parking lot.
20 by 20 piece of grass. Somewhere.
Yeah. That's what we got. That's what we got. Oh. You guys are shot out in fucking Ireland.
Yeah, they definitely are. Maybe have a laugh out there though. I can't wait till these come.
Where to go? I'll go to Ireland. I know for a fact he'll go. He loves going places.
He's like drinking, right?
I mean, it's like part of super
It's
back.
like field hockey.
Oh! Don't ever compare it to field hockey.
And they say it's like lacrosse. They say it's like the skills of lacrosse with field hockey with fucking like everything all mushed into one. It's also been around for thousands of years, like since like
Like
fucking
golf?
Way more before golf. 16th century.
Golf was
kind of
hundreds of years.
stuff.
Not
Couple
thousands.
thousand.
I'll Google more about this sport. We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
We'll check
Pretty
it.
fucking cool. And the stick shaped like an axe. It's fucking, and your helmet's optional. You don't have to wear a helmet.
I love a sport where safety's optional.
Yeah, they're hard men, like, and they
It's
don't.
like rugby. You don't wear a helmet.
They don't get paid, so nobody gets paid.
It's volunteer.
Yeah, so and these boys are all fucking.
So
Like,
you know they're crazy.
these boys are all hard workers. Like they're out fucking on the sites working all weekend, and they're playing this shit in the freezing cold in the rain at the weekend.
So you can compare it to
for
people
no
who
money.
like reenactments.
Like LARPing?
Yeah.
Conor McGregor actually wants to fight in one of their.
I've heard of this man, Conor McGregor. I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's a mad bastard.
Last time I did ecstasy, I was watching one of his fights. It's a crazy night.
Which fight?
I don't know. It was like 5 years
So then
ago.
we'll be able to tell how long ago you
Probably
did
Aldo.
ecstasy.
5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Probably
I don't know.
Aldo.
You had a lot of
Although-
fights.
What?
That was a
Probably
sick
Aldo.
fight. That was.
We went to Long
The one
Island
that fight
to
away
meet
champions.
Jimmy Fingers.
Was the fight very short?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Everyone had the flags out,
7 or 8 seconds or something.
and the guy, he's
Not
like, "Oh, you
going
want
on.
some?" He handed me 3.
But the,
I thought they
way
were out of
that,
it.
though, he was
missed
doing it
it,
in the
yeah.
fucking. He was doing it in
They
the
punched
changing
at the
room
same time,
before.
too.
There's a video of him doing the fucking move in the changing room, and then he goes out and does the exact same fucking.
A lot of guys do that. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
He was
It's
in
fucking
Savannah.
unreal. Like.
What?
He was in Savannah Saturday.
What? You hang out with him?
No.
He
Conor was in Savannah.
He was in
I see
Savannah.
he's been out. He was all over fucking America at the
You
moment.
should hit him on your podcast.
He's a big fish, man.
Well, you'll never catch if you don't cast.
There you go. There you go.
That's what I'm saying.
We have actually access to UFC people, so maybe we'll get somebody on.
Who do you want to get on?
Well,
Somebody.
my brother's really good friends with Megan Levy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he worked with her father. At his,
That's right. he was
Joe
talking about
Rogan.
that.
Joe Rogan's the UFC.
Yeah,
No,
He's a hard man to get a hold of.
Sure.
he's been very busy lately.
Yeah, I understand.
Do you think he's going to have you on, right?
I don't know. He said if
You guys. Sorry.
if you found a tusk,
If you find a mammoth tusk,
He
I'll
said
have you
tusk.
on. So, do we need to find an actual mammoth tusk or a bone that's not supposed to be there?
You
and
were the
found?
first. You know what I mean?
we're trying. We're trying.
I think that's like stipulation. You know what I mean? I think it.
Let's get a lot more looking.
I have been kept out of prison because of technicalities, so I have a good appreciation of them.
There you go.
So if it just
One
so
way to look at
happens this one doesn't work for me, okay.
Or maybe it's the push to make you go and fucking
I'll keep
go
looking.
and get the tusk.
Oh yeah, I got a tusk. I want to find the first one and make a remote holder out of it for my remotes.
How lucky do you think you were to find that one?
Fucking lucky, stupid lucky. We were trying for over 2 months, and it was just nonstop, and we were losing steam. Like every week would be a different problem. The boat would break, the battery or something, the hot water machine would break. So
Plus, not finding something really takes the
yeah, and all the money it costs
The
to
hot
out
water
there.
machine, for the people that don't know, that pumps hot water.
That
in
pumps
your
hot
suits,
water
you
into
don't
our
freeze to
suits.
death,
Yeah, so
right?
we wear 3-mil wetsuits, which gives us more mobility. Problem is, it gets you more susceptible to the environment. So for hypothermia,
Mhm.
so we pump 100 to 104, 105 degree water through
What
our
heats
hose,
the water?
hot water machine. So it's it's diesel powered, like in your home.
You made this?
Well, you can buy them.
Okay.
So I was my first one. They're pricey. My first one was given to me. It was in shambles. It was broken. That's how I got so good at fairing them. So most of my gear when I first was established was hand-me-downs from other divers who have either broke their stuff and they're not mechanically inclined, and they would give it to me and I'd fix it, or they were getting out of their career and they had a bunch of broken shit they couldn't sell,
Mhm.
and they'd give it to me. So my first compressor I had to rebuild. My first hot water machine, hydraulic power pack,
Sibian.
everything. My first Sibian.
Yeah.
He likes to work in Sibian at any conversation.
Sibian's like a fucking
Sex
porn
toy.
machine, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
He likes
you know
to-
how I know that? We went to the Museum of Sex, remember? You should go there in New York City.
I have
It's
been
a
there.
blast.
Oh, yeah.
That's- I have an exhibit.
Did you bounce on the titties?
I touched him.
They have but they have bouncy castle.
Yeah. I didn't go on because I figured I didn't want to.
It's a
break-
bounce house, but it's.
I didn't want to break.
I
them.
mean, so.
You were oddly excited about this.
I didn't want to break titties.
Respectful. So most of my shit's been broken over the years, so I've learned over the years to repair and fix. So all my stuff has gotten secondhand. So the hot water machine pumps hot water. There's a 200-foot coil in there, and it's circular. And the turbo jet that's powered by diesel fuel will shoot a flame in there and heats the water up. And then as it goes through, it pumps out of the river, goes through that coil, heats up to 100, 405 degrees, pumps back down into the umbilical, and the umbilical brings the water to my suit, pumps into my suit, and keeps me warm.
Damn. And you can't go without that in these waters, right?
You
A
can
real man can.
when assholes don't put fuel in the machine and it runs out of fuel.
I tell him, hey, pussy fart, stop being a pussy fart.
That happens when you get cold. The
Do
machine
you have
breaks.
like a little 2-stroke motor fucking runs it?
No, it's we have a generator that runs the power.
Yeah, so it's
source.
like a Predator or something like that.
No, I use high-end Honda. Thank you.
I 200, 2200 or the
I had 3200.
Oh, you fucking real fancy.
It's not mine. I borrowed it.
Yeah,
It's not mine.
It's fucking expensive. Bro.
We have a 2200.
You don't want to leave that shit down in Manhattan. Someone
No, some of the it's there right now.
Very secure location.
I'll tell you where I park it. See if you can get it.
Fuck.
So, I mean, we have 22s for our stuff, but that one we borrowed from our friend Randy to power this because we only need one.
Quiet.
Quiet one. So we have that, and that powers the hot water machine and the well pump that sucks the water out of the water and goes into the hot water machine. And then we have the air compressor, which I have a North Star now, and that was powered by a Honda motor.
You said earlier that was an air compressor. That's a pressure washer.
That's what I said. I realized what it was. I saw the real.
I
thing.
forgot. Like I heard it, but I didn't register.
You don't want to correct me until we got comfortable. I understand. I appreciate that. For 7 minutes, you're like, asshole, the fucking pressure washer. Read a book.
German fucking engineering too.
He's right. He's right.
Kranzler, nice stuff.
It's pricey.
Very pricey.
Yeah.
$2,000.
We have what's our pressure washer? Ours is 50.
It's quiet though.
Ours is 5,500.
I used to use this piece there, and my fucking next door neighbor hated me. You fired up.
It's only 3,000 psi. You can't take a
A
finger.
lot of people around here not pleased with you, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people are pissing a lot of people off, bud.
I'm
I'm not look in the mirror and say, hey, it's just life. Maybe I'm trouble.
The mushrooms make me apathetic, but
You don't give a fuck.
try my best.
The mushrooms make me think that Coke hates everyone, so I don't care. I level up.
No more coke. No more coke. I
Me either.
left that in Ireland. Fuck that. It's too expensive. Doesn't last long enough.
You need to get better friends.
Go to Colombia.
We have a Colombian friend who will not send his drugs back.
Mm.
Pussy.
Colombian people get really upset when you make that.
Yeah. What's the problem?
I thought that I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Like we made the DeLorean and
Great car.
and the Titanic.
That worked out well.
Oh, Titanic.
It both worked out well.
Like fuck them.
Yeah, but how cool. I want
But we're proud of them. Do you know what I mean?
I would love to own DeLorean.
Like if we owned the cocaine industry, I'd be fucking proud of
Tell
that.
you, buddy.
You know what I'm
Think
saying?
about it. How good is our mail, right? Think about this, the logistics. You're telling me if I mail back 12 keys, you're telling me one ain't gonna make it? Come on. One.
Something's gonna get.
All you need is get one, and you're like, I'm set.
You know, the fucking CIA were selling it for years.
Yeah, they don't like competition though.
Did you watch Barry Seal's fucking the one with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
That shit crazy. People don't. Like,
That's why you want the plane.
American made.
what plane are you gonna get? Cessna?
Yeah.
172? What size are you getting? You know
What
what?
the 700?
Okay, that's a big one. How many seats? It's like a 6-seater, right?
He's kind of
No, it's only a 4-seater.
4-seater.
Yeah, he needs 2 seats for me.
Yo, it's a big thing with planes though. The weight restrictions.
Thanks,
Yeah.
don't really I would say that.
I'm
I'm gonna enter
We went skydiving with a
Go on,
serial
Dr.
killer.
Phil over
You know
here.
what's guy?
You know.
Yeah, we went skydiving with a serial killer, and the serial killer goes, you can go, you can't go.
You're not invited, you're too fat. I go, I didn't even ask to go. Why are you looking at me like that? I didn't even ask.
He said you're fat, you can't go. Look. He didn't even want to go. What the
Yeah.
fuck? He's fucked up.
I would like
He
planes.
was axing me off the list.
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking
Can't go, you're fat.
What a dick. He's not invited to the Christmas party. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
that guy,
He's a
not
fucking
invited
cunt, that guy.
Fuck
Rat bastard.
He's a rat piece
He's
of
not
shit.
coming to Ireland.
No, can't come.
Wanker.
Josh can come. Josh can come.
Josh
Josh
can come.
can come.
Nope.
Jonathan Santiago can come.
No, my
Chris can
fucking
come.
my dad would love you. See, that have a good time, wouldn't he? My father.
Does he have a place we can sleep?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a floor. I don't even need
They
a couch.
do, and they got an extra room and all at the minute. They
Shotgun room. I called it.
tell you.
I heard me.
Oh, alright.
I called it.
They'll look after you.
Like
Josh will ship over his Winnebago.
I'm from Belfast. Did I say that already?
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, Belfast is it's like the Bronx of
That's
Ireland.
the shit.
I
Yeah, it's
love
nice.
that in Sons of Anarchy. They talk a lot
It's
about
so
it.
rough, yeah.
Yeah.
So little IRA stuff,
I've heard.
lot of madness, you know. Not as much these days, but it's definitely still
It's still there.
A lot of hooligans.
Yeah, so we have
How are the soccer hooligans over there?
madness. Worse in Scotland.
Yeah.
Our mom's neighbor's Scottish, and he's crazy.
If you're a Catholic from Belfast, you'll support a team called Celtic, and if you're Protestant from Belfast, you'll support a team called Rangers.
Yeah.
And they're both Scottish Premier League teams.
What if you're Jewish?
Not many Jews, man.
Get the fuck out.
I never. When I was a kid, like I didn't even know. I didn't know
Didn't even know who
Jews
said
existed. I didn't even know what. All we knew was Catholic and Protestant. There was no
Those
Christian.
your only options?
There was no Christian. There was no Muslim. Maybe there was, but we just didn't know. Do you know what I mean?
They kept
That's
themselves,
all.
yeah.
That's all we knew was Catholic and Protestant. That was it. Like in Belfast, we have a wall that runs right through the middle of the city. It's 3 stories high, barbed wire along top of it. It's called a peace wall. They keep Protestants on one side, Catholic on the other.
Is that still there to this day?
Hell yeah. Google it. You see the picture of it?
Is there holes in it like glory holes?
There's bullet holes in it. Fucking,
Oh.
they throw petrol bombs and pipe bombs, nail bombs. Fucking.
Sounds awfully familiar, like the wall in Israel.
Baghdad, it's fucking
What
mad.
the fuck?
Yo,
That's not
it's-
even
A lot of,
right.
lot of walls in this country piss
Yo,
people
I
off.
gotta Google this.
But this is all government-made bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Like, the people don't actually hate each other.
They want to throw pipe bombs.
Because they fucking make us hate each other so they can control us.
Or you have people who do false flag operations and they work for the government doing it.
But yeah, the
Ooh.
peaceful.
Kinda like,
This is a whole nother 3-hour fucking podcast. This
Yeah,
is
no,
true.
I know.
Yeah, we'll get into this next time.
You
You come to us and we'll
You
discuss
can
conspiracy
ask me.
theories. Come to us.
I want to have a separate
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
for conspiracy and call it All Politics Aside.
Oh, that's a great title.
And have it all conspiracy
title.
and have all conspiracy
He's
theories
a
on.
title master, this man.
Pretty good. I like that.
Boys, I can't thank you enough.
Thank
I
you for
have to
having
let
us.
this go, seriously.
Yeah, my wife's
Fallon's
not killing
gonna
me.
kill you.
Yeah,
We
plus
got a
Josh
wife?
can't
We got
Oh
a
do it.
yeah, I'm on my second wife. Keep her forever.
You still like first wives, huh?
Well, you know, it happens.
It happens,
It
yeah.
happens.
It's
Yeah.
it's a brotherly thing.
No, our other siblings are on their first.
You got other siblings?
Yeah.
We're 4. And our new adopted
Older
brother.
sister, older brother.
Jack.
Okay, alright.
Yes, we have David and Regina. Gina's on her first husband, and they're in love. They'll probably go the distance. David's on his first wife, Katina.
It's
and they'll go
normal,
the
buddy.
distance.
You know?
Yeah,
You gotta be happy, man.
That's it.
it's a fucking
That's what it
prison
really
sentence.
boils down to, you know what I mean? You gotta be fucking, and even if you don't be happy, you just gotta make your life a wee bit.
Fake it till you make it.
There you go.
If I keep pretending to like you, I'll eventually like you. No, this time around, things are, ideal. Like, I can call them Buster balls. You don't go bust my balls, and
You need that, man.
otherwise it's miserable.
I went through a fucking lot of mad relationships until I met this wee one over here. She hasn't stabbed me yet, so
But you know she's packing.
I know she's got it in her.
Somewhere.
So it keeps me on my toes, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe she's carrying a little pistola. I got 38, I can say. It's real
I
cheap.
think she's a knife woman.
I told you she is. Did you get back at it?
Machete or something, you know?
Gotta keep it quiet always.
Oh, fuck.
Gangster shit. Anyway.
But
Really
no, seriously,
appreciate having us.
can't thank you enough. I was fucking blew away when you said I actually didn't even feel like it was real. When we said about manifesting things, fucking like I've been thinking about boners. Been thinking about bones a lot lately.
Okay.
Thinking
It'd be
about,
silly not to.
you know, and you guys are, like I said, you're on the right side of rewriting history. I hope fucking
Thank
you
you for
find this
having us.
tusk.
If we find a tusk, I'll tell you this. I promise this. If we find a tusk, I will come back on your platform to discuss the tusk.
Legend.
I'm really trying to get in the Illuminati, so
that's a sure shot way to get in.
small steps here.
I can't wait to fucking tune into these on Joe Rogan, like, because I'm a massive Joe Rogan fan, and Joe Rogan inspired me to have a podcast. Obviously, inspired us all. You know, any podcasters out here.
Well, in all fairness, John inspired me to have a podcast.
But I think Joe Rogan was really one of the first,
Pioneer, yeah.
right?
Tom Green,
Real
yeah.
Lewis Clark.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts. You know what I mean? And like, so I feel like he inspired everybody, and without him, we wouldn't have what we have. So fucking.
It'll be an honor to be on the show.
I can't wait to see you on it.
I hope we are.
No, you're going.
Thank you, sir.
Positive mental attitude. You know what
I have it. I am very positive.
Joe boy, thank you so much, boys. These are fucking legends. Can't thank you enough. Been 006 of the Street Kings podcast. Thank you all for dialing in. See you all soon. Yo, yo, yo.
Gang, gang.
All the best.